Hi, my name is Cara, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to share my family's story today.
This is Shannon. Shannon found joy in many different parts of her life. Shannon's passion was art, and she attended university to study fine art. In her time at university, Shannon was elected as the Disabled Students Officer for her cohort, as Shannon wanted to make a difference and she strove to advocate for equality. Shannon loved cats and adored the pet cats in our family home. Another of Shannon's loves was reading. She would immerse herself into stories she loved, in particular the Skullduggery Pleasant series, and she was thrilled when she had the opportunity to meet the author in person. Shannon also found so much peace when her and my mum would holiday to Devon, where they would spend a lot of time near the sea. Shannon was neurodiverse, although this wasn't recognised until her poor mental health became apparent. She had difficulties with dyslexia whilst growing up, and this often led to her feeling not good enough and would impact hugely on her self-esteem and was a reoccurring feature throughout Shannon's academic life. Shannon began to struggle with mental ill health from the age of 14. As Shannon progressed into early adulthood, she was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Over 10 years, my mum was Shannon's carer. She advocated for Shannon's needs early on in educational settings, and then moving forward, she advocated for Shannon in health and social care settings. Sadly, whilst caring for Shannon, my mum experienced many difficulties, such as criticisms in relation to her parenting, with professionals making reference to her inability to cope, and overall not having her voice listened to or taken seriously. Tragically, on the 9th of January 2019, Shannon died at just 24 years old. Some months after Shannon's death, a coroner concluded with a short narrative of accidental death contributed to by neglect. This means that Shannon's death could have well and truly been avoided. In the months leading up to Shannon's death, Shannon lived in a rehabilitation unit after leaving a psychiatric inpatient unit. This placement was funded by the NHS and social care. My mum raised several concerns in regards to Shannon's safety at the placement. Shannon's self-harm escalated, and Shannon had expressed directly to my mum her fears that staff were not checking on her as regularly as they were supposed to do. My mum raised these concerns the day before Shannon died. The concerns were raised with the placement and the mental health team. On the day that Shannon died, the observation sheet at the placement had the abbreviation BA, short for bedroom awake, filled in for the times Shannon's 5-minute observations should have taken place. These were subsequently written over at an unknown time or day, with reference to them calling an ambulance. Not only were the records of observation inaccurate and obviously forged, but it also gives an insight into the level of accountability the placement undertook. Whilst my sister had died, their main concern was to ensure their failures would go unnoticed. There were multiple other failures in Shannon's care leading up to her death, and it would take me a long time to describe every single situation in the detail it does deserve. But the failures include incidents such as promises of funding being sought for transport by social care for my mum and Shannon, owing to the distance between the placement and Shannon's wider support network. This was never adhered to. A referral for a carer's assessment was never made for my mum either. Staff at the placement had minimal training on CPR, and the training they did have was online and brief. Professionals from all agencies involved didn't work together, meaning that support for Shannon was fragmented, and most importantly, Shannon's voice was rarely actually heard nor respected. As I previously mentioned, Shannon was neurodiverse, and it is evident that many of the professionals didn't take this important part of Shannon's story into account, and astonishingly, a number of professionals didn't even know. It is widely recognised that for most autistic people, care in an inpatient unit or placements similar can be highly unpredictable, and without support from a professional who understands autism and how to adapt to care, it can be completely overwhelming. The impact this has had on our family has been profound beyond any belief. I lost my only sibling, which has then impacted on my own mental health and sense of security in the world around me. I was, at the time of Shannon's death, attending university, training to be a mental health nurse. This isn't an aspiration I could pursue anymore, due to the nature of Shannon's death. My mum passed away last year, but I would like to use some of her words to describe the impact Shannon's death had. On the day Shannon died, my world crashed, exploded, never to be the same again. My beautiful daughter was gone forever, leaving me with a void so wide my world would never, ever be the same again. Shannon looked forward to a promising and bright future. Shannon will never get to finish her degree and achieve her dream of becoming an art therapist. She'll never get to make more memories with her friends, and Shannon will never get to continue to love and find joy in her only niece. Finally, I think it's important to highlight that there are many ways in which professionals working with vulnerable people could ensure they make a positive impact and avoid catastrophic circumstances like ours. Ensuring to remain person-centred is the most important, ensuring that the care provided is respectful of and responsive to the individual. To ensure care plans and risk assessments are co-produced with individuals and are current and reflect the correct level of risk. Taking into account parent carers' views is vital, as they have invaluable insight. Although my mum voiced many concerns relating to Shannon's care, it is evident that my mum's concerns were not seriously considered. Research conducted by Cerebra highlighted that parent carers described their experiences with services as humiliating and devastating. I personally think it would be incredible if the future words to describe experiences with services could change to empowering and life-changing. Continuing professional development is crucial in ensuring that professional skills are current and that the best care is provided. And it is important that skills and knowledge are kept up to date, and this will ensure that professionals practice safely and legally. Following the correct procedures, such as ensuring observations are carried out, should go without saying. What may seem like small measures could literally save a person's life. Thank you for listening.